Hello, children. Let us learn about physical and chemical changes. Changes occur around us. Changes can be physical or chemical. Physical changes bring a change in the properties of a substance, forming new and different substances. Chemical change occurs due to rearrangement of atoms. In a chemical change, energy in the form of heat, light, and electricity is either absorbed or evolved. Chemical changes are generally permanent. A common example of a chemical change is rusting of iron. The phenomenon of decaying of iron when it comes in contact with air and water is called rusting. Rusting damages and weakens the metal. To prevent rusting of iron, the metal is painted, lubricated, galvanized, electroplated, and alloyed. A process of obtaining crystals from hot supersaturated solutions of salt is called crystallization. Displacement reaction. Take an iron nail and dip it into a solution of blue vitriol. Blue vitriol is copper sulfate, CuSO4. We see that the blue vitriol slowly loses its color and becomes green. The iron nail gets coated with red-brown copper metal. This happens because iron, being more reactive than copper, displaces copper, Cu, from CuSO4 and iron sulfate FeSO4 is formed, which is green in color. The displaced copper gets deposited as a copper coating on the iron nail. That iron rusts only in the presence of air and water. Take 3 test tubes and mark A, B, and C. Place a long iron nail in each test tube. Add some calcium chloride to test tube A, put some cotton above it, and close its mouth with a tight rubber stopper. Fill test tube B with 3/4 of water and boil the water to drive out all the air. Add a few drops of oil to water and cover the test tube with an airtight rubber stopper. The film of oil prevents the water from coming in contact with air. This ensures that water in this test tube has no oxygen dissolved in it. Add a little water to test tube C and close it with a rubber stopper. Leave the test tubes undisturbed for a few days and then observe. You will notice that the nail in test tube C gets rusted while those in test tubes A and B remain unaffected. The iron nail in test tube A does not get moisture as calcium chloride absorbs moisture. That in test tube B does not get oxygen. Therefore, the nails in test tubes A and B do not rust. The nail in test tube C gets both oxygen and water, so it rusts. To separate common salt solution by evaporation. Dissolve 1 spoonful of common salt in 50 ml of water. Heat the salt solution in a china dish by placing it over a wire gauze on a tripod. Continue heating while stirring constantly till all the water present in the solution evaporates. We will be left with a white residue in the china dish. This is the common salt that we had added to the water.